If you're building in a bushfire prone area, one of the really important things up front is to get an understanding of what your constraints are for your site. So get a good understanding of not only bushfire, but what other limitations do you have before you build. So you've got a good picture of what you can and can't do on your site. It's really important through that process. So I think you do engage with council and get an understanding of any changes that might be from local government areas to make sure that you're in the right process and you do complete the right forms and do the right submission. And then you prepare a bushfire report to go with your application to council and submit that application in. The way it works is when you buy a property and you do the conveyancing work, you have what's called a 149 certificate, which identifies any of the planning constraints that might sit on your title. And on that it'll say you're on bushfire prone land. So that's the first point of call. The other way to do it would be most council websites will have a link where you can type in your address and it'll tell you whether you are bushfire prone. Or alternatively, you can put a call to the RFS and find out, with your property address if you are bushfire prone. And that's what triggers the process of then having to go through the bushfire considerations. So if someone's not in bushfire prone land, it doesn't necessarily mean they've got nothing to consider. It's something that people should check regularly to make sure that the mapping hasn't changed or there hasn't been some changes to other parts of that legislation. I think what's really important though is even if you're not bushfire prone, there still may be things you should do around your house. And while there might not be legislative requirements around building and construction, you'll still be vigilant about what you do in preparing your property. And definitely before you lodge a development application, recheck if you are bushfire prone to make sure that something has changed. So for people that are bushfire prone or are interested in what their bail level might be, there's a number of ways that can be done. You can go onto the Rural Fire Service website and you can do a self-assessment to get a good idea of what your bail level may be. If you're not comfortable with that, you can talk to the RFS and we can help work you through that process to do a self-assessment. Or the other way is to engage a consultant. So you can engage a consultant and they'll come on site, they'll look at your land and they'll give you some advice on what your bail level is. That may be used to help inform decisions around insurance. It could be used from a development point of view, or it could be used just so you have a better understanding of what your risk is. At the end of the day, a well-prepared home with the right building construction goes a really long way to providing the safety that we need.